It's official. I am a hoarder because buying craft supplies and making things are two completely different hobbies. Send help. Welcome back to my chaos. Today I am going to tackle this mess. I want to go through some of the things that are not organized. I want to pare down, knock on wood. I know it's already February, so to be talking about my New Year's resolution might be a little late, but I was sick for most of January. So here I am. But my resolution is to not go to the craft store unless I absolutely have to in order to complete a project until this mess is under control. I would like that whole bookshelf to be consolidated into my wall of bins, and I would like everything that's in that cabinet to also be consolidated into my wall of bins. I know I am wishful thinking, but my thought process is between purging and using, I should be okay. Because I bought things with the intentions of projects and then never did the project, A, and B, a lot of things were gifted to me and I don't have intentions of using them. But part of that crafting, hoarding fine line that we all walk, I have to be able to say, I don't need this. That's what I need to do. I need to get this under control. I need to get me under control. I need to be willing to say, I don't need you in my life. Because I like being organized. I'm incredibly nitpicky about my organization. I don't like feeling like I don't know where things are. I don't like knowing I have something but can't find it. Like, that's the worst feeling. And then I always end up going out and rebuying it, and then I find it again, and then I have duplicates. So yeah. That being said, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go through and measure everything, label everything, and then decide whether I'm going to keep it or purge it, because it being organized for the person who's receiving it is also valid. You know what I mean? And then it's already pre-measured and labeled what it is, how wide it is, blah, blah, blah. For labeling it and measuring it, I think you guys have seen how I do it before, just in when I open things. But I kind of do things the way Joann's does. I worked at Joann's for several years at the cutting counter, and so the way that they store remnants is how I like to store my fabric, rolled with the yardage and the measurement, like, okay, so this is 5/8 of a yard and it's 50 inches wide. And then they stay in my bins upright so I can see the swirl looking down in the bin. I'm not going to Marie Kondo by dumping everything onto the ground because things are already heavily organized by color. I just have to organize the bins themselves so that, like, some of the bins have gotten out of hand, and I just need to organize the bins themselves so that I could fit more things into it and or purge, if that makes sense. Let's have fun. I have a lot of this stuff. You guys have seen it so many times because I have used it as mock-ups. A lot. And I still have, look at this. Yards. Like literal yards of it. And I have no clue what I want to do with it. I'm going to measure it, see what's here. I'll do a rough measurement and go from there. So another quickie for me, at least, figure out on your body where a yard or a meter is. Knowing that will make your life much easier in the long run. For me, I learned very quickly that if I hold it like this in between my pinchers and bring it to my nose, I'm right at a yard. Let's see how off. I was off by 1/2 inch. Okay, I have just about 14 yards of this. That is still a tremendous amount of fabric. I have no clue what I'm going to do with it. Do I, like, force myself to use it because 14 yards of fabric, I could make 2 sundresses and call it done? But it's such a lightweight, summer weight, and I don't wear a lot of red, so I don't know. Or do I keep holding on to it as mock-up fabric? Let me know down below what you think. I think for this one, because there's 14 yards of it, I am going to put it on a bolt. I think that that's going to be my best bet. And I'm going to move my coffee out of the way up here with you guys. Not its original bolt. I just took that off of it since there's only less than 2 yards of that left. But I don't know if you guys know that another way of looking at fabric, how much yardage you have, to get a rough estimate is how many laps around. Roughly 1 wrap around should be roughly 1/2 yard. And so they say, that a yard should be 2 full wraps around, like that. And so if you're looking at a bolt of fabric in the store and you don't know if there's enough on there, count the rings. And this orange flannel, I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I don't remember why I bought it. It's 28 inches, so that's 1 inch over 3/4 of a yard. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but like I said earlier, just to get myself organized to start with, I am just measuring everything out and doing my organization. So how I'm rolling them the way we do with Joann's. Fold it in half so that your fold touches your selvage. And this will give us a nice uniform height to all of our 45-inch wide rolls. And then I don't scrapbook as much as I should anymore, and I have tons of scrapbook paper. You know, they come in those books that you're like, I like 10 of the prints, but I don't like anything else. I take those and I use them as my wraps. I cut them into quarters. So they are 3 inches wide. And then I write on here what the fabric is, how wide it is, and what the measurement is. But I don't know if you guys can see me. So I've got that folded, fold to selvage, and then I just roll it. And then this guy sticks right here like that. But before I do, I'm going to write on here what is in it. And so then I put it down on here, paper print side up, and then keep rolling until we get back to the front and tape it in place. But this way, no matter whether I'm keeping this or I decide to let it go, I know exactly what it is and how much I have of it. For a piece that's kind of long like this one is 1 5/8 of a yard. I fold it in half lengthwise just to give me less to have to worry about rolling and keep it all organized as I'm rolling it. And then I roll it with my salvages to the inside so that way any rawness and frayed edges are on the inside. So there's actually still some room in here now that I have folded up the things that I just shoved in here. It looks much better. Everything is visible, everything is labeled, and that's without actually purging anything. I can come over here and go, is anything in here fit? And I think I can get this orange in. I know exactly what this is for. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I really want to make a Peggy Carter cosplay, and I love this blouse. Someday I will make it. And I will be using this salmon-y orange satin-esque stuff. But for now, I will put it in my bin of oranges. So I've got a lot of scraps left over from my green stretch velvet that I used for my Winifred dress. There's a lot of scraps here. They're not big enough to make anything for me, but they're still on the larger side. So I'm kind of debating if I want to hold on to them to make something for my kiddo, or maybe even doll clothes, or do I want to put them into the cabbage box, because that would be hoarding. Same with some of this. These are all like larger scraps. Part of me wants to just put them in doll making supplies. Oh, I don't know what to do. So I'm gonna put them away for doll making supplies for now. And then when I double back to doll making supplies, when I see how much I actually have, I may change my mind. So I've moved on to the white bin, and this bin is not as full. I mean, it's full to the brim, but for the amount of fabric that's in here, it's actually much less. That's because these two things of fur are taking up most of it. That makes me a little nervous, because it's like, I don't want to give away faux fur. It is from back in the day when I was doing Santa wear, so it's expensive because it's higher quality fur, but at the same time I have a lot of stuff that I still need to fit into my white bin. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to, like, maybe get some of that in there. Idealistically, I'd love to be able to get a few of those in. Okay, yay. I genuinely don't even know if I could use this for anything more than maybe, I think this piece has to go into the large scraps bin for doll clothes or kiddo stuff, because that's definitely not making anything for a grown-up. I have 3 yards of this hot cocoa fabric, and then I have another, well, essentially half a yard, but it's, no, another 3/4 of a yard, but A, it's cut in half, and B, it's pre-washed. So I'm going to package these separately. I think I'll do the 3-yard one will go into my bin, and then these will go into my bin for making things for the kid, or letting the kid play, or whatever that bin ends up being. But it's for small scraps. Or I could make her a set of pajamas and her doll a matching set of pajamas. She's heavily into those really, really expensive break the bank dolls. So I make their clothes. And so I think maybe that's what I'll do. Not today, obviously. Good morning. It is day 2. Yesterday we got whites, red, yellow, orange, green, blacks and grays, purples and blues, and pink done. So I have left Christmas quilting, Christmas, Halloween, and fall. And I think those are actually completely, like, nothing is measured at all. Home deck, almost everything is remnants, so it's all already done and I don't have anything to add to it, so I'm going to leave it alone. I have utterly no clue what is in this one. It's labeled apparel, selfie, steampunk, so that one we need to check. And then that very bottom one is just canvases, so I don't need to touch it. I'm hoping to get these last 2 cottons done today because they're, like I said, nothing is touched in them. And then those 2 top ones are just random stuff that I have no clue what it is. But that's not part of today. And then this standing desk has storage underneath it that also has quilter's cotton in it. And I have to tackle those too. So I think let's go that route. Okay, so this is today's pile. Some is already bound the way that I typically bind them because I bought them as remnants from Joann's. So I'm going to take one of these empty bins and just start filling and rolling and filling and rolling. So some of this isn't even quilter cotton. I don't know why it's even in here. So I'm putting it in a separate bucket. Boop, boop. Not quilters. And we just go through this pile. Got some leftover jelly roll strips from a Easter quilt. These went to the same quilt, so I'm gonna put them together in the same pile. I also have some pre-cuts like this and like this. I don't want to actually separate them from the other fabric of that theme. Like when I'm quilting, I try to keep perspective quilts together. Like this is an Easter quilt. So I'm going to try to keep families together. Why? 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 I have literally had this since I was like 15 years old. I haven't made it yet. It has gone all over the country and back with me. Why do I still have it? Scraps that are so wrinkly I can't even use them. Why am I like this? Why am I like this? Now this I know why I kept. It's a teeny tiny little scrap. So my kiddo was completely obsessed with strawberry shortcake. Her first birthday party was strawberry shortcake themed. All of her clothes. She would beg for me to put strawberry shortcake on the TV all the time. And so I kept these little scraps with the intentions of actually making a cute little strawberry shortcake memory quilt for her. I can't. Again, when she was 4, she was so obsessed with Paw Patrol, she even made me name a dog Everest. Okay, she didn't make me that hard. Why? I'm like the literal worst. I think I need intervention, that I felt necessary to keep this. And when she was 3, it was Sophia. Not quilter's cotton, and I'm definitely going to miss out on making my daughter a Hanukkah dress if it's hiding in my quilter's cotton. More Strawby. That's what Bebe used to call her. Strawby. A whole lot of who knows what kind of cabbage. Why do I keep these things? Okay, so I've got everything separated to where this is all folded nicely and needs to be measured out and figured out what's what. Trimmed down, trim off the jaggedy, uneven edges and square it up. I've got these might be big enough to cut down to like 5x5s type deal for quiltings. I've got Easter comic book. Definitely purging this pile of Winnie the Pooh because I don't even know anybody who likes Winnie the Pooh, so I will put it in my sell bin. And everything that's Harry Potter because that's the kids' current obsession. And I'm just gonna start measuring and rolling. So with this piece, I have 12 inches, and then I also have another 13 inches of not full yardage. So I could either cut this down into a couple of layer cakes, or I could cut it down into jelly roll strips. This half isn't wide enough to do 2 layer cakes, but I could do 5x5s. There's options. I don't know if I will use this, but I might just as is roll it up as a 1/3 of a yard plus scraps. Okay, it is now day 3. Yesterday, I did the cottons that were in the standing desk, and I did not get to the 2 bins of seasonal in the closet. I'm okay with that because the cottons were a lot of work, but let me show you. And I now have just these 3 mostly organized. I haven't separated them by theme. I was just going by fill. Like, there's plenty of room in this one, so I'll pull some out of that one and just kind of redistribute. And then this one, the small one, I'm keeping as just Harry Potter, so that way when I decide to actually sit down and do that quilt for Bay, I can. And then that little bin is all scraps that are too small to roll that I can cut up into quilting pre-cut. It's definitely much more consolidated, which is awesome. Today I'm going to tackle holiday bins, I think. This is day 3. This is a lot more work than I thought it was going to be, and this video is definitely not going to be out on time because I probably still have another full day of work to do all this and then a day to edit. This is gonna take a while. So I actually picked up this specific set of prints because of the pinks and purples in it. I thought would be really, really cute to make a Halloween quilt for my kid, especially since she's really into cats and potion bottles. Like, this is right up her alley. Did I ever get to it? No. So I'm going to make sure that all of the pieces for this particular quilt, while I am measuring and rolling them, I'm going to make sure they stay together in that box. And while I'm at it, I'm actually going to try and organize it so that anything that I actually do think will go together nicely as a quilt, maybe I can store them in that, maybe organize them so that they're in the box all together like that. I don't know. I might be setting myself up for disaster or failure. I don't know. All right, I've got everything that is Halloween and fall completely measured out and folded. However, I'm not quite sure it's all going to fit back in the bin. I'm a little nervous about that. Just because it looks like a lot. And I know that when I did all the calicos that were in my desk, it compressed it, but for some reason I'm concerned. Let me show you these piles. So this pile is Halloween. This is that pile that was the quilt for the bay. That's all that I have left of fall, which is not awful. That's Halloween apparel. This is just a set that I thought would look cute together as a quilt. And it all has to get in that bin. Okay, so I've got everybody in except for these 2 quilts and the store-bought pre-cuts. So, yay. I'm just going to drape these across the top so that way they don't get mixed in, and the next quilt that I do, they're right there on top and I can just grab them. And then these little guys, because they're tiny, can go live right there. Okay, I can't believe this all fit. I am a happy girl, and I'll actually be able to get the lid on. Like, how cool is that? Lid. Well. Okay. Okay, so everything is absolutely done. I'm excited that I got everything measured and rolled. I'm a little disappointed in myself that I haven't purged anything, but at the same time, I have a nice reacquaintance with my stash, and that will make planning future projects a little bit better. I'd love to be able to replace these Rubbermaid storage bins, but you guys know what it's like out there. Like, finding things. At least my stores still look like it's World War III. So I will stick with these bins. I did, however, pick up some chalkboard vinyl surface sticker stuff. I'm going to cut them down to little 4x6 squares and put them on the front of the bin so I can have pretty labels and they don't, you know, it's just not Sharpie the way it was. At least they'll look nice. So, thank you guys for helping me clean out my closet.